Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, why don't you come in here and sit down with me and let's open our Bibles up. This week, we're doing Psalm 37. Psalm 37, we're going to do it in two parts, so we're going to do it this week and next. And Psalm 37 is a wonderful psalm. As a matter of fact, Origen says, one of the church fathers, he said of this psalm is the most precious medicine for the human soul. Isn't that good? The most precious medicine for the human soul. And he starts off in a wonderful way, David does when he writes, beginning here in Psalm 37. This is a psalm of David, but that's all we have. It just says of David. So this is a psalm of David, and this is an acrostic psalm. So we have one of David's acrostics here, and we have it. It's a complete acrostic. And so the whole psalm, now you're going to say to me, well, Pastor, there's more than 22 verses. And that is true. This psalm is, let me look up here, 40 verses long. What happens in this particular psalm is that you have one of the Hebrew letters for two verses. So it doubles the number of verses. Except for verse 7, I think that's a single. And maybe there's another one or two that are only one verse long. But most of the psalm is, two verses per each letter of the alphabet. Anyway, it's a wonderful psalm. I'm sure that, being written as an acrostic, it was something that was useful for young children to learn Hebrew and to learn, to be catechized in the Psalms. So again, not only are these wonderful devotional things, but they also teach us theology and can be used in that way to teach children and ourselves, which is why, I teach Daily Dose Radio. Here, let's just go ahead and read. We're going to do the first 4 verses today. So verses 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in Psalm 37. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land. And verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Okay? Verses 1 through 4. Fret not thyself because of evildoers. So you notice how wonderful this is. Again, Origen's words, this is the most precious medicine for the human soul. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, because what do? We fret over those who are wicked and have rule or sway or influence, and they ruin things. So don't fret over them. Remember, at the end of 36, he said, there the workers of iniquity are fallen, they are cast down and will not be able to rise up. So he has that description of the wicked man there in 36, 1 through 4. And then at the end, in his prayer in 36, he says, they're going to be cast down. And then he begins 37, fret not yourself because of evildoers. It'd be easy to, wouldn't it? To worry over it, to be upset, to lose sleep because of the way they behave. Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Oh, here we ought to bring in James 3:16, shouldn't we? The envy that destroys human souls. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Notice that. Cut down like the grass. That's an image that you find not only in the Psalms, but you also find it in the book of Isaiah. The grass is going to be mowed, and it's going to happen eventually. I don't know who said this or where I got this quote, but it fits so well here. And that is, no one envies the prize sow her ribbons and medals as she is being led off to the ham maker's smokehouse. So the prize sow with her ribbons and medals, nobody envies her when she's being led off to the smokehouse. And what's happened to the wicked? Don't envy the wicked, because you know where they're going to end up? They're going to end up cut down. They're going to end up in a windrow. They're going to be hay for something. And that's exactly what he says there in verse 2. Now notice he changes his focus from fret not in verse 1 to trust in verse 3. Trust in the Lord. Do good. Thou shalt dwell in the land, and verily shalt thou be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord. So, trust in the Lord, and you're going to be safe. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. So trust and delight. Don't fret. Just watch. Watch what happens to the wicked. They're going to be cut down. Trust in the Lord. So the whole time that the wicked man is doing his thing and dancing his dance, you trust in the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord. So you notice how he goes from trust to delight. It's more than just, it's more than just placing my trust in the Lord that He's going to take care of me, but it's actually delighting in Him. So I move a little bit deeper into that relationship, don't I? When I delight in Him, I'm rejoicing in Him. The wicked man is not rejoicing in Him. No, the wicked man, if it hasn't happened yet, he's facing a day of judgment. Well, join me tomorrow, and we're going to look at verses 5 through 8 here on Daily Dose Radio.